We are being joined by Mr. Raj Khosla, who is the founder and MD of MMM, which is My Mantra, My Money Mantra. Mr. Raj, thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. It's a pleasure having you. Firstly, on this mega merger, would like to know that what this amalgamation actually means for the existing as well as the new HDFC and HDFC Bank customers, and along with that, how they will benefit from this amalgamation. Your takes on this.
Yeah, thank you very much, and and thanks for having me. Such a pleasure. As far as the benefits for HDFC Limited and HDFC Bank, customers is concerned, like you yourself said, asset base of 18 lakh crores, also 18,000 lakh crores is so huge. Whenever costs go down, and the HDFC as a group has a reputation for treating customers very fairly. So if there is a lowering of costs, it is bound to be passed on to the borrowers or the customers of HDFC Limited and of HDFC Bank. So that's a straight up gain for the customers in terms of a possible lowering rates of interest. The second and equally important gain for all customers on both sides, and specifically for the HDFC Limited customers, is of course the pan-India footprint of the bank, wherein there are literally thousands and thousands of branches, and which is in stark contrast to HDFC Limited. And as such, service levels are bound to go up. I mean, if you have, your service provider, whether it was HDFC Limited or the bank, if you have the service provider almost next door, it is a big, big thumbs up for service levels for customers. So both of these things, I think, will help the customers a lot. And a little bit obliquely from not exactly what you asked is, of course, look at the impact it has had for shareholders on all sides, specifically, and generally for the stock market as a whole. But I mean, an open endorsement of such a move, what better than a stock market, to gives you a thumbs up. So all sides, customers as well as shareholders, they've all gained by this merger.
But now, Raj, would like to go into some bit of details. Your takes on how will this merger affect the existing home loan borrowers when you're talking about HDFC Limited, and given that currently that NBFCs do have to adhere to the external benchmark regime, how this will impact that?
Well, actually, it's the banks, that have to benchmark to an external, to an external mark, and in most cases, it's the repo rate, which the RBI declares. So that's what the home loans or for that matter, any loans for HDFC Bank would be benchmarked against. With respect to how that would affect, obviously, the HDFC Limited, borrowers and customers, it would lead to more transparency. If the rates go up or the rates go down, they know why they're going up and why they're coming down. And in fact, if there's any benefit here, which I strongly suspect there will be, I'm absolutely certain that HDFC, being the brand that they are, will certainly pass on the benefit to the customer. So that's a big up as far as benchmarking is concerned.
Okay, absolutely a point taken that it is definitely a big positive for the customers as well. But now let's talking about the impact of this merger on the existing depositors with HDFC in terms of the interest rates as well as the other terms and conditions. How do you look at this?
The merger is not going to affect any fixed deposit holders immediately. But later on, there's every chance that, like I said, first, even as we talk, but there'll be completely uniform rates because it's obviously to be one entity. So no immediate impact on fixed deposit holders. Their terms and conditions remain the same as what they transacted for when they deposited the money. But as we go along, obviously, there will be one uniform rate, and it will be governed by the usual mechanics of rate fixing.
Okay, now that both the companies are being joined into one, what are the key factors do customers should be aware of, like before buying or investing in any of those cross-selling products that are being offered by HDFC Bank after this amalgamation?
Well, quite honestly, it is again a big plus for the customer because he has for the HDFC Limited customer, because now he has a full bouquet of the financial products available to him from the same organization. In terms of that brings ease, and obviously, if every bank will offer better terms to an existing customer. So if you are an HDFC Limited customer and tomorrow you wanted a credit card or a personal loan, the fact that you are an already existing customer will entitle you to somewhat better terms. But having said that, I might add that this aggregation of financial products is here to stay. People take a home loan from one bank and a personal loan from another one, and or possibly a credit card from a third. Depends on what suits the individual's requirements. So there will be a more choice. There'll be, that's always a good thing for customers to know that this is available to me at probably a good competitive rate or a good competitive terms and conditions. Of course, the customer has to weigh that against what is available to him from any other bank, and also what are his personal needs and requirements that will be available to him from HDFC Bank.
Okay, and lastly, we'd like to know that will the customers need to change their KYC or need to resubmit that? How do you look at this?
This is still, it's up to the management as a whole. As far as existing KYCs are concerned, I don't see any great change. But going forward, there will be more homogeneity, for the entire customer base in terms of, the internet offerings. With respect to KYC, how that will change, again, that will be one system going forward, but existing KYCs, will stay in place. I don't see a problem there. It's all about the customer. I'm sure they'll always be happy with something as positive as what has happened.
Raj, thank you so much for all your takes on this mega merger being announced. And definitely, we have been talking to the analysts since morning and they have been calling it a deal for the decade. And rightly mentioned that we are hopeful that it is in the best interest of the economy and it gets bigger and bigger from here onwards as well. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us how this mega merger is actually going to impact the customers and what the management should be coming up with few more details in the coming times ahead. Thanks so much, Raj, for joining us on ET Now today.